All right, guys. Today we're going to talk about some like merfolky, fish mini, like Shape of Water kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? You ever seen that movie? I haven't either.
Where's Guillermo del Toro when you need him?
This
He had
is
a Merfolk
Northwest
movie.
Magic. My name is Howie.
I'm Levi, and we're Northwest Magic, like he just said. We are talking about Hakbal of the Surging Soul. This is the Precon. What is the Merfolk Precon? What is it called again? The slippery high tides.
Explorers of the Deep.
Explorers of the Deep. I was very close. Hakbal
Slippery high tide.
Hakbal of the Surging Soul. 2 a green and a blue. Legendary creature Merfolk Scout. At the beginning of combat on your turn, each Merfolk creature you control explores. To explore, you reveal the top card of your library. Put that card into your hand if it's a land. Otherwise, put a +1/+1 counter on the exploring creature. Then put that card back or put it into your graveyard. When Hakbal of the Surging Soul attacks, you may put a land card from your hand onto the battlefield. If you don't, draw a card. So you can see right here, just by looking at him, he synergizes with himself. You're getting lands into your hand, you're putting lands onto the battlefield, and doing it all over again with all the merfolk. So, you're sifting through this bad boy. Very, very good looking Precon. Let me tell you what. Howie, what are we doing today?
We're going to add 10 cards. We're going to cut 10 cards. As we do, this is a Precon upgrade video. We're going to add some more fishy men. It's pretty cool. I'm going to start
by
talking about the new cards. Are you ready?
Yeah.
I'm going to do something unprecedented and talk about 1, 2, 3 cards all at the same time.
Whoa!
Whoa, I'm going to talk about Merfolk Branchwalker, Jadelight Ranger, and Jadelight Spelunker. Put them all on the screen. Merfolk Branchwalker enters the battlefield and explores. It's 2 mana. Jadelight Ranger enters the battlefield and explores. It's 3 mana. And then Jadelight Spelunker enters the battlefield and explores X times. It's an X and a green. We're not just a Merfolk deck. We're an Explore deck. We have cards in the deck somewhere. Put it on the screen. I don't know what it's called. Topography tracker. If a creature you control would explore, instead it explores, then it explores again. And we want to like take advantage of that kind of stuff. Plus, we just like exploring. It's pretty cool. And so you should add all 3 of these to the deck. They're super solid. They're good value even without the commander and the other synergies.
Yeah.
Super good.
Jadelight Ranger, Jadelight Spelunker, and Merfolk Branchwalker.
Adam.
We're gonna need to.
Whoa. I'm sorry, guys. Let's make that a 4th card. I'm just gonna say.
Yeah, I was gonna say we have a C-Note.
C-Note Scout, the same thing. Add it. Enters the battlefield. It explores. 1 mana, 1/1. Sorry, go ahead. Talk about like the next few cards.
As you can,
took a lot out.
As you can tell, we went hard on the exploring, because the commander cares about it, right? And you're just going to town. You're exploring. You're putting lands in your hand. You're putting them on the battlefield. You're drawing cards. You're exploring over and over and over again. With that being said, I just mentioned that we are going to sift through our deck a lot. That's why we put Thassa's Oracle in here. It's 2 blue, creature Merfolk Wizard. This has a very salty score to it. Lots of people don't like this card. When it enters the battlefield, look at the top X cards of your library, where X is your devotion to blue. Put up to 1 of them on top of your library and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. If X is greater than or equal to the number of cards in your library, you just win the game. It's kind of a weird, confusing card, but basically if your devotion to blue is equal to or less than the amount of cards in your library, you just win. When you win Thassa.
Only because, in theory, we're not comboing this, so people might not hate it so much. But in theory, we're going to sift through our deck a lot. And if we can get, low, it's just a good win con, so we don't deck ourselves out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Super, super solid card. I don't think people will get that upset about it.
Yeah, especially if you win with it in the most honest way you possibly could. Yeah. By just doing some Simic things. Speaking of Simic things, we have Thrasios in here also. Triton Hero, green and a blue for 4. Colorless, scry 1. Then reveal the top card of your library. If it's a land card, put it on the battlefield tapped. Otherwise, draw a card. He's a really good mana sink plus ramp plus sift through. Well, what did I just talk about? Sifting, ramping, lands. What else is there not to love about this beautiful man?
You know, this is one of the best commanders ever printed, Thrasios.
He really is.
I've never played him myself, but like he's awesome. I didn't realize until right now that he lets you scribe before he does the thing. I had no idea.
That's okay. You've never played
awesome.
him. I think that's one of the huge busted parts about him, really.
Yeah, and that he doesn't have to tap. You can just do it. Put all your excess mana into him. He's great.
There's one of the new cards that are in here that I really wanted to talk about. We have the Roaming Throne, baby.
Oh, yeah.
It's 4 mana, 4 colors mana. It's an artifact creature golem. You might be asking us, hey, Northwest Magic, Levi Howie, why are you putting a golem in this deck? Well, we'll tell you. It has Ward 2. That's not the reason. It enters the battlefield. You choose a creature type. A Roaming Throne is the chosen type in addition to its other types. And here's the best part. If a triggered ability of another creature you control of the chosen type triggers, it triggers an additional time. Guys, if you choose this as Merfolk, all of your triggered Merfolk are going to trigger another time. You're getting double triggers for all your Merfolk. My mind's getting blown by this golem. Ow!
I was trying to do a really quick count because I didn't know, but there's like at least like 13, like 12 Merfolk we're leaving in the deck, along with we just added all those Enter the Battlefield Explore things. Those are all triggered abilities. Our commander also, I didn't count that, has 2 triggered abilities. So this card's gonna do some work. It does a lot. This might be my favorite card of the year. Catch us in our top 10 video at the end of the year.
This is going to be a chase card for sure.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
All right. I'm done. What else you got, Howie?
No.
That was the video. We're cutting it off. Cutting it.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to talk about... We're super invested in the board in this deck, as most tribal decks are. So we're going to add a Heroic Intervention. It's 1 and a green for an instant. Permanents you control gain hexproof and indestructible until end of turn. We just want to protect the board at instant speed. Keep that mana up if you really need to, because if we invest that hard and we lose everything, it might be pretty difficult to turn that around.
Yeah, it can be actually kind of rough when you're a very mid-rangey deck and it's just kind of like, oh, all right, it's all gone now. Cool. That's it.
2 more cards.
Deeproot Pilgrimage. That's a new one.
Yeah.
That one's really sick. Whenever 1 or more non-token Merfolk you control become tapped, create a 1/1 blue Merfolk creature token with hexproof. So if you go into your attack phase and you attack with everything, you're only going to get like 1. But if you're able to combo this with something that makes it so you can tap your Merfolk for anything, right, like mana or whatever, that's makes it even better because it cares about the instance, right? So. Regardless, we thought this was going to be really solid in here.
Oh, yeah. Even if this just makes an extra Merfolk a turn, that still gives you another Explore every turn.
Gives you another Explore.
Super good.
And it's only 2 mana for an enchantment. Like, it's a really low cost.
Low investment. And it's probably safe. I don't think anybody's going to blow this up for any reason unless they have nothing else to blow up.
Exactly.
Lastly, this is the last one? Yeah, we're going to add... Vodalian Hexcatcher. It's 1 and a blue. For a Merfolk wizard with flash, it's a 1/1. It has flash. I didn't know that. We added the card. Other Merfolk you control get +1/+1. Awesome for 2 mana. It also has sacrifice any Merfolk, any one of your Merfolk. Counter target non-creature spell unless its controller pays 1. You're going to force your opponents to do a lot of math before they start casting stuff with this. And you can do it as many times as you want. One of my favorite things, I haven't played the deck yet, obviously I don't have it. But one of my favorite things that it's going to be of mine to do in the future when I play this deck is go like, sacrifice a Merfolk. Do you pay the extra 1? And they go, yeah. Sacrifice a Merfolk. Do you pay the 1? Yeah. And you do that until they have no mana, and then you say counterspell. Just cast your counter spell. And they would be so mad. I love it.
Yeah.
I stole that from someone. Shout out to you.
Shout out to that person. Yeah. Yeah. So
those are our 10 ads.
Those are our 10 ads. We just focused heavily on the explore and everything. Okay, guys. Let's go on to our removes.
I thought you were going to start the outro. The way you said that.
It definitely did sound like it.
Okay, guys.
Okay, guys. Okay. One of the ones that we thought was kind of not worth it was Thassa, God of the Sea. You know what? Kind of a pricey card, actually, for what it is. It's 2 and a blue for a legendary enchantment creature, God Indestructible. And as long as your devotion to blue is less than 5, Thassa isn't a creature. At the beginning of your upkeep, you scry 1. Okay, not so bad. 1 and a blue, target creature you control can't be blocked this turn. What's nice is that she's indestructible and she's relatively low mana cost, but you're swinging more wide with this deck, you know? 1 and a blue, just to make something unblockable. It's not like the hugest impact, but basically she's just lower impact. Yeah. She's not exploring. She's not horrible. Like, I would understand if you want to keep her, but she ain't exploring. We need Dora out here. We don't need Thassa.
And I hate that. We already got 2 cards that come in the deck that give you trample or unblockable. Like, we don't need this.
And flying. I think there's like one that gives flying too.
Oh yeah. There's that new encore one that gives flying. It's called Merfolk. It's called Mist Dancer. It's not called Merfolk anything.
Yeah. So there's enough evasion in here.
Yeah. So I want to cut Tishana, Voice of Thunder. This is just too much mana. I don't think we have any Merfolk in here that costs more than 4 in the entire deck. Oh no, we got a couple, but they're way more high impact than this. Anyway, I want to cut Tishana. It's 7 mana for Merfolk. It's pretty cool.
That's cool. It's a Merfolk.
It's cool. It's legendary. Its power and toughness are each equal to the number of cards in your hand. Will probably be a fair amount, but it has no trample. You have no maximum hand size. When Tishana enters the battlefield, draw a card for each creature you control.
That part's not horrible.
It's all of it's not horrible, but I don't think I want to play it for 7 mana.
Yeah, honestly, if she had some kind of evasion, she'd be perfect. She'd actually be worth keeping in my opinion. Like if she had trample, I'd be like, let's keep her. I'd be like, let's keep her. Yeah. I don't know what the heck you're talking about. You're taking crazy pills.
Flying. I'd be like, yeah. What's wrong with you, Howie?
Yeah.
That's Garbo.
It's Garbo. But yeah, the fact that she just doesn't have that built into her is kind of makes her a little bit more mid. Another one that I thought was kind of mid was Coral Helm Commander for 2 blue. He's a 2/2 Merfolk.
Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty sick. Then you got to pay 1 to level him up to level 2, and so he gets flying. He's a 3/3 with flying. Okay, then you got to pay another 1.
You gotta pay twice to get him to level 2. He starts out at level 0.
Yeah, 0. Yeah, sorry, yeah. You have to pay. Yeah, it starts at level 0. Pay 2 to give him flying, and then pay a 3rd one. Or pay a 4th one, technically, to keep him there. Basically, what I'm trying to say is that you have to spend a lot of mana just to get him to level 4, and all he does is basically be an anthem for other Merfolk, not himself.
And it's all at sorcery speed, and someone can just wait till you invest all your mana and say, he's dead.
He's dead. Yeah.
He's dead. Lee Rollicked. You know what I mean?
He's dead. Lee Rollick. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's way better Merfolk than him. Bye-bye, Coral Helm. I like your armor, but...
I don't like anything about him. I think level up's a bad mechanic.
Level up... If it was better, if level up was a good mechanic, it could be good. It's just...
If it was at instant speed, that would make it good. That's all they had to do.
That's all they could have done.
If the whole game was at instant speed, it'd be better.
Anyway, what else we got?
I cut Commit to Memory. It's an instant and a sorcery. Ooh, look at that.
Whoa.
For the first side, it's like 4 mana to put a spell on Soda's Library. Second from the top.
Garbage.
It's removal for 4 mana removal. And then Aftermath, everybody wheels or something. Like,
I don't even know what it says. It's bad.
they wheel for 6 mana and they shuffle their graveyard into. It's has nothing to do with what we're doing. If you're playing like a wheel deck and you absolutely need something that costs 6 mana to do it, then go for it. Not a good card. Not a good card.
Garbo.
Good in the overpowered ninja Yuriko, because then it's like 10 mana.
Yeah,
but,
yeah, that's good.
You know what we're not talking about? Yuriko. What's the next card?
Speaking of just kind of like mid cards, Aetherize. 3 and a blue, instant return all attacking creatures to their owner's hands. This can be a gotcha moment for sure. I've definitely gotten people with it. But I usually run it in a deck that's a little more on the cunning side, like a Dimir, like you're trying to be sneaky, trying to be cunning. People, you are not going to be cunning with this deck. You're going to be having all these merfolk, and people are going to be... It's aggressive. And while Aetherize really isn't, like, terrible, there's better board wipes in here. Like including that one... the +1/+1 counters one. A good wave goodbye.
Wave goodbye.
Wave goodbye. Like, that one's good. Yeah, that one's fantastic.
One-sided board wipe for 4 mana. That's great.
Yeah, and it doesn't return everything. It does return everything.
It does.
Wait, was it 2? Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So
things without +1 counters.
Yeah. Sorry. I don't know. You don't have to wait for things to be attacking. That's what's
and
nice about
you
it.
Might be playing like, oh man, that guy's gonna swing out his next turn, and then they don't. And he saved 4 mana for nothing, and nothing happens.
Yeah, this only gets rid of one player's character. This only gets rid of one player's creatures, while the other one gets rid of like everybody. So
2
same mana.
Oh god, it's too hyper specific. Like there will be times when it's a total blowout, but it's not worth it to keep in when it's only good sometimes. You know what else is not good to keep in when it's only good sometimes or never? He's smiling. I know he knows what I'm going to say. It's Temple of the False God. I hate this card.
Temple of the Terrible Gods.
Comment if you know what video I'm talking about that we just recorded talking about this.
Yeah.
I hate this card. I
Garbage.
don't want anyone to ever play it. Don't talk to me about this card unless we're talking about removing it from your Precon, because I always put it in the Precons. This card's bad. It's not good for half the game. And even after that, it's like, I don't need this. Cut it.
It does nothing until you have 5 more lands. That's it.
Like, just get rid of it, man. Tell me about a different card. I'm like disgusted talking about this.
We thought Raven Form could get cut. I don't hate Raven Form or anything, but it's also the only Forel in the entire deck. So if someone plays against you a few times, they'll probably know it's Raven Form. First of all, not that it matters that much. It's you can play around that. Anyway, 2 and a blue, exile target artifact or creature. Its controller creates a 1/1 blue bird creature token, or you can foretell it to pay 2 earlier, and then on a later turn you can pay blue and do what I just said. It's not a horrible remove spell, but I prefer foretell to be in decks that care about exile and care about foretell. Just do this for any other... Put any other kind of removal in here other than Raven Form, and we're fine.
Neat. So I'm also going to cut Sage of Fables. It's 3 mana. It says each other wizard creature you control comes into play with an additional +1/+1 counter on it. It's a Merfolk wizard. It has 2 mana to remove a +1/+1 counter from a creature you control to draw a card. We got enough draw power in the deck. We don't need to pay 2 mana and remove +1 counters from stuff to do that. I'm not going to count every card in the deck, but there's like maybe 9 or 10 Merfolk wizards.
We added 3 wizards.
Still not worth it.
One of them is Thassa's Oracle, which, if that's ever coming out, it's probably when you're winning. I mean, yeah. Probably not. You could also just play it normally, I guess, if you want.
You could do some scrying, whatever. Get rid of Sage of Fables. It's not going to be pulling its weight.
It really won't.
It's not.
Did we already talk about Merfolk Skydiver? I don't think
No,
so.
talk about it.
Green and a blue flying when it enters the battlefield. Put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. And then for 3 green and a blue, proliferate. Not horrible. This is kind of a vanilla card that can just kind of sink right in.
It's fine. You can almost consider Thrasios the replacement of this one.
Yeah, actually. Yeah, because I think that 4-mana Mana Sink's a little better than this one. Yeah, you can kind of get big. 5 mana to proliferate all your counters isn't bad. Like, it's not like the worst thing in the world.
It's totally fine. I think that this video was was it? It was pretty hard. I don't know.
Doctor Who ones were really hard, in my opinion.
Yeah. This
Paradox Power was really hard.
The one we just recorded. Again, comment if you think you know which one we just recorded. Like, it was just kind of hard. And this one, you guys can keep it if you want. I won't get mad, I promise.
You'll get mad.
But we just had to. If we had to cut 10.
One more, Howie.
Forel of the Whole Clade. 1 green and a blue for a human merfolk. That's kind of weird. It has green and blue and tap to double the number of each kind of counter on target artifact, creature, or land. Again, this is fine. It's just like you're making one of your guys... I don't even know if you're going to make him that big. Like, you might, like, go from 2 to 4. Maybe next turn you'll go from 4 to 8, and then they start getting big. But at that point, there's a 7-mana investment to make something sizable and probably without trample. Maybe if you get, like, that one guy who gives trample or that one guy who gives unblockable. That's pretty cool, but, like, again, we had to cut 10.
Yeah.
Sorry, boy.
Not horrible, but got replaced by stuff that makes the deck more focused and just better in general. So, those are 10 adds and 10 removes for the slippery, slidey death ring of Merfolk deck. I think that's what it says on the Precon.
The shape, it's called all of that, and then it says The Shape of Water 2.
The Shape of Water 2. Starring Guillermo del Toro.
I did want to... I had another recommendation if, like, your playgroup absolutely hates Thassa's Oracle. Add a Burgeoning, because you're going to be putting a lot of lands in your hand, and it's only 1 mana, and you can play lands when other people play lands. You're going to have lots of hands in your... What? Lands in your hand.
You're going to have lots of hands in your lands.
Lands in your hands from all the exploring, so...
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's a solid replacement that's still very good. In fact, I kind of wanted to add it, but again, we can only add 10 cards.
Well, you in 10.
Hey, if this... whatever. This is an 11 card upgrade video. Add that card. And cut Temple of the False God again.
Yeah, twice.
Yeah.
Well, guys, like, comment, and subscribe if you liked this. And yeah, we're just gonna keep on trucking. Let's keep on swimming.
Bye.
Bye. That's the sound Merfolks make.
I don't like that.